Hi, my name's Miss Wilson, and I'm one of the band directors here with the Appoquinimink School District. Today we're going to be talking about the alto saxophone, what would happen during your child's first 2 lessons. So we're going to start out by making sure when you open your case for the first time that it's done on a flat surface. You want to start out the first few times opening it on the floor just in case you open it the wrong way. Then it doesn't have very far to go if it does happen to fall. So make sure that the logo for the instrument is facing the sky, and then you can go ahead and open your case. Alright, so for the saxophone, we are going to get started in our first lesson with this part, which is called the neck of the instrument. Just going to put a little cork grease on this brown part here, our cork. A little bit goes a long way. It's always easier to add more than to take it away. Just take it and rub it in with your fingers. Then you're going to take and add the mouthpiece and twist it while you're pushing. If you have it on correctly, then the opening should be facing the floor. Okay? Next, we're going to take this all-important piece. This is called the reed. It's made out of wood, and without this small piece on the saxophone, you would not be able to get a sound. You'll notice that one end of the reed is thinner and one end is thicker. You want to put the thinner part in your mouth. You have to wet the reed or else it's not going to vibrate. If it doesn't vibrate, you're not going to get a sound. So after you've wet the reed, then you're going to take and put the flat part of the reed. A lot of times it'll have the brand name of the reed. This one says Rico. Put that flat against the mouthpiece, right where that opening is. And slide the ligature on. Now, if your child goes to put the ligature on and it's not going down easily, just try and flip it around. One end of the ligature is going to be larger and it's going to slide down very easily on that end. And you want to line up the reed and turn the screws of the ligature just to hold the reed in place. If you take a look, you'll notice that there's a very thin strip of black plastic right at the tip of the reed. I always say it's about, the width of a few hairs. It's not very big at all. If you turn the reed around, you should never, or if you turn the mouthpiece around, you should never be able to see the reed above the mouthpiece. If you do, the reed's too high. If you turn it this way and there's a big gap between the top of the reed and the mouthpiece, that's also going to be too low. So, just a little thin strip of black plastic, and you're going to take your top 2 teeth. I often say to students, it's going to look like you're a bunny. Wrap your lips around. When you wrap your bottom lip around, you want just the pink part to disappear. And you don't want to hold your lips really tightly around the mouthpiece, because if you do that, it's going to prevent the reed from vibrating. So just roll it under so the pink part disappears. Teeth on top of the mouthpiece. And no puffy cheeks. That's getting a sound on the neck, the mouthpiece, this part that holds the reed is called the ligature, and our all-important reed. So, for right now, I'm going to take this apart and put the reed back in its case. During our second lesson, we're going to go over how to put the whole saxophone together. So, this part of the saxophone is called the body. It's got a lot of keys on here. What you're going to do is you're going to hook the neck strap into this circle part right here on the instrument. Then put the neck strap around your neck, and we will help your child find the correct length of neck strap that's right for them. I'm going to move mine up just a little bit. Now, it's very important when walking around, You always want to keep 2 hands on the body of the instrument. Some neck straps, this one does close the whole way, some don't, and that's all right too. But you just want to make sure 2 hands are on the whole way, just in case it does happen to come unhooked, then it doesn't go crashing to the floor. So 2 hands on the body at all times while you're walking around. So then we take and we put on the neck, okay? We add the mouthpiece. And then finally, last thing that goes on is the reed. Thin end of the reed goes into your mouth. Lining it up. You just have to kind of look under. Tighten the reed. Now in 4th and 5th grade, starting students out, you may see on some videos where the performer is playing right between his or her legs, but we're going to actually play off to our right side. You've got your right thumb underneath the thumb rest. Your left thumb will either be on this black dot, sometimes it's brass, sometimes it's silver. It's right under what we call the octave key. 1, 2, 3, and then our bottom 3 pearls, 1, 2, 3. So see, get a sound out. The first finger down is our B. Now, when we go to play a note and we tongue our notes, your tongue is going to separate each note and it should hit right at the tip of the reed, in between each note. So we're going to think of saying ta, 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 ta. Okay, so that's getting a sound out on the saxophone. And then when it's time to put it away, the very first thing you want to do is take the reed off. You want to be very careful with this piece of wood because once it breaks, it has to go in the trash can. So always treating it with a lot of care. You take and you put the thin part of the reed into the reed case. Then you can set that to the side so you know it's safe. Can unhook your neck strap. Make sure your neck strap goes back in your case. Sometimes you unhook it from your instrument, you forget about it, then you walk out of class or out of practicing and it's still on your neck. You may have to loosen it to be able to pull it over your head. Then next, you're going to have to take the neck off. You can lay the body carefully in the case. And remember, one thing I did, always want to make sure 2 hands on the body, never hold it from the neck because it has a chance it could come apart and then that wouldn't be good. So 2 hands on the body anytime you're walking and carrying your instrument. Set that carefully back in the case. Twist your mouthpiece off. The ligature can stay on the mouthpiece when you put it back in the case, but it should never have that reed on it. Put it back in the case. Close up the case. Then you're ready to go until it's your next time for practicing.